am really excited about today's video because I'm going to break down my recent podcast review giveaway that we did for the Proffitt Podcast. I'm going to tell you why I did it, what the results were, and how you can run your own podcast review giveaway. So let's get right to it. Hey y'all, Crystal here today, and like I said, we are going to be talking about the recent Proffitt Podcast Review Giveaway. I know it's a whole mouthful, don't worry, I'm going to have lots of resources and lots of information to share with you today that's going to break down exactly how I did this. So first and foremost, I wanted to tell you about the top 3 resources that you are going to want to watch and consume and download and all the things after you watch this video. So first is, and we're going to go to the computer in 1 second, I'm going to show you these in real time, but I have a podcast episode called How to Run a Podcast Review Giveaway. You're going to find a link here. It's crystalproffitt.com/episode 250 of the Proffitt Podcast. It's really the episode before the review giveaway actually started. I recorded it and then aired it during the review giveaway. Everything about this is super meta. I understand that. We're doing a podcast review about a podcast review giveaway, and now we're turning it in, like, I see the multi-layered concept of this content. I get it, don't worry. Then I also have another podcast episode that aired recently that is all about the debrief. So it's the lessons learned and the high levels of everything that I really took away from running this podcast review giveaway. And then, of course, the content that inspired everything here is I want you to go grab the podcast review debrief. Now, this is an actual PDF that I created. I'm going to show you on the computer here in a second of what it is and why you need it right now, immediately. If you've been thinking about doing any kind of giveaway for your podcast, please go grab this because it will help you to not start from scratch. I want you to never, again, start any kind of giveaway thinking, I don't know what to do. Where do I even start? This PDF guide is going to be your saving grace. So go to crystalproffitt.com/review debrief. I'm going to have a link in the video description, and I'm actually going to walk you through it here in a second. So are you ready? Let's hop over to the computer and let me show you how I got this podcast review giveaway off the ground and how we actually completed it. So let's go. Okay, so like we talked about, there are a few different things I'm going to share with you here today, but the first is episode 250 of the Proffitt Podcast. This is the podcast episode I recorded before the giveaway ever started, and I kind of shared a little bit about what I predicted would happen. I wanted you to know, hey, this is why I'm running this review giveaway. Here's kind of the results that I'm expecting. And even down here, if you go to the show notes, it says the podcast review giveaway scientific experiment. So some of the questions I have is, do you get a bump in the charts whenever you have more reviews? Do the reviews need to be left on one platform? Meaning, does everyone have to do it in Apple Podcasts? Do I need to have them on Spotify? Where can everybody leave reviews? And then how many reviews can I get with an audience of my size? This was a question that I was just really curious about. And then, will people be enticed with the prizes I've created? These were some of the questions that I was wondering before I ever started the giveaway. And now I want to share with you a little bit about the debrief episode. So that was episode 250 of the Proffitt Podcast. And then a few episodes later, I created the debrief episode where I actually walk you through, and it's about 45 minutes because I go into detail of what I learned, some of my biggest takeaways, some of the things I would do again if I were running another review giveaway, and some of the things that I just did not even think about. I had no idea we would have so many international folks that really wanted to participate in this giveaway. And while I had, set some money aside in my budget to, ship gifts because I did have some physical products, I had my book, Start a BINGE-WORTHY Podcast. If you haven't checked it out, we'll have a link below in the video description. but I wanted to ship my book, which I knew in the United States, it would cost around $5 a book to ship. Well, I hadn't factored in international cost for a lot of the winners. We had a few international winners, and even our grand prize winner, shout out to Leah, she's over in the UK. She received a book, a coaching call with me, access to my digital course, Proffitt Podcasting, as well as some really sweet podcast equipment. But I had to ship all of those things over to her. And while I thought it was fantastic, I wanted to make sure that I point out to other people that want to run review giveaways with a physical product that you take that into consideration. Is how much is your budget? Like, are you going to run ads for your giveaway? Are you actually going to ship something? Or are you just going to send digital products? These are all things that I learned along this journey and that I wanted to share with you. So go check out episode 255 of the Proffitt Podcast and learn some of the things that I learned along my journey. So I want you to tell me in the comments below, is there any giveaway that you've entered that had this incredible prize that you really, really wanted to win? And if you can think of one, I want you to put it in the comments, because I'm always curious to what actually incentivized someone to opt into a giveaway. Was it a cash prize? Was it something really cool? Was it just like, oh my gosh, they had this one, all-inclusive vacation package? That sounds amazing, right? Like they had something that was just a show-stopping giveaway prize. Tell me in the comments, because I am curious. Okay, let's get back to the video. Now we're gonna jump over to the tool that made all of this possible for me, and that is Asana. If you have not checked it out, I highly recommend Asana. It's my favorite go-to project management system. I've used other tools in the past, but Asana just has everything that works for me. So whenever I first decided I was gonna do this podcast review giveaway, I have like my 2021 plan, and I break everything up into quarters. It's how my mind works, and I can just think in 3-month increments so I don't get overwhelmed trying to plan my entire year or even 6 months at a time. And then it allows me to pivot my content or pivot my business after a quarter is finished. So the review contest, the giveaway landed in April 2021. That's the first time it worked best for me, because I started planning this in 2020. Y'all, I've been excited about this for a long time. So what did I want to really see happen with this? Well, whenever I knew that I was going to run it in April, I had to decide on the dates. So if you're going to run any kind of review contest, you're going to launch anything, decide on the dates first. Like that needs to happen first and foremost. So I'm going to go to my calendar, and the first thing that I did was I went to April and I decided what are the days that would work best for me. And so what I did is I decided on the last week of April. You can go listen to the podcast episode I mentioned, and I go into more detail on why I chose this time. But I went ahead and I earmarked these dates. It was a Monday through Friday 5-day giveaway, and I marked those on my calendar as soon as I knew that those were going to be the dates. That way I didn't do podcast interviews that week. I didn't take on any extra clients, and I cleared my content calendar so I could really talk about the review giveaway whenever it was happening. So that is one piece of advice that I've learned in this process, is to, if you're going to be doing any type of launch, which I considered this a launch, then clear your schedule a little bit. Don't do those extra things that you don't have to do. Put it off until the week after. That way you can do your podcast interviews or any other type of work like that that isn't necessary to the weekly operation of your business. So let's go back into the list view. So when we're in the list view, I have April pulled down, right? We have May and June, and I have quarter 3, quarter 4, all the other things that we're going to accomplish in 2021. But I want to really specifically hone in on this month. For the month of April, my main focus was wrapping up another project I had in doing this review contest. And what I love about Asana is I can do like this nesting, like folders, like to where I can just have the high level review contest and then have the tasks that need to happen underneath. Y'all, this is where the magic happens. Okay, so I'm gonna make this full screen so we can all look at this together. and there's not a bunch of distractions, because Asana can be a little overwhelming if you have too many things open. And so what I wanted to do is really go through what I did to make this happen. So I created the Asana, hey, this is the review contest. This is how it's going to work. I wrote down some of the stats that I had beforehand. I had 64 ratings. There were no 2 or 3 star ratings. I had mostly 5, a few 4, and of course a 1 star. It's fine. You haven't really made it until you get some 1 star reviews. Like, this is what I've always been told, but I mean, it's just the truth. I had a 1 star rating and I'm okay with it because there were mostly 5 and 4 stars. It's all good. And then I wanted to have a link to the Google form. Now, if you want to check out the Google form that I actually used, go to crystalproffitt.com/review. Everything is still there. You could go through the whole process of filling it out. Just know it's over, and whatever you put in there will just go into a folder somewhere. But I wanted to leave it up so you could see exactly how I created this web page and what my Google form looked like for this review giveaway. Okay, so I knew that a Google form was something I needed to do. I'm actually going to uncheck these so you can read them better. Because what I did is I knew, and you can see the dates over here. What I like about Asana is I can say, hey, this is what I need to do. Here's when I need to do it. And then I can go in and assign tasks to myself. Like, right? Because I was working on this project by myself, but I could have sent this to someone on my team as well and said, hey, can you work on these emails, like uploading them to ConvertKit? Or could you help me with these social posts and create all the graphics? This is what I really like about the collaboration that you can do in Asana. But Google form, okay, high level. Let's start right here. What do we need to do in our Google form? And so I wrote in the 3 main things that we needed. We needed the name, right? Someone has to have a name and their email in order to enter to win one of the prizes, and then a screenshot of their review. Now, what I learned, and I talk about this in the podcast, is this was a wonky time to do this because it was right after Apple announced all of their updates and Apple got real crazy. It was like the week after they made all these announcements, and I was like, I don't know, like my show notes were disappearing. I had other colleagues that their podcasts were gone from Apple altogether. And I remember thinking, this is going to be a disaster. But we went ahead with it anyway. And I'm really glad that we did the screenshot because it took even longer for a lot of these reviews that people left in real time to show up on the podcast. So if you are asking for people to, leave a review as part of their entry to win, have them do a screenshot. It was not a big deal. People were really happy to do it. So that's what I would recommend whenever you're doing something like this, because you have to wait from 24 to 48 hours. And honestly, we had to wait even longer to actually see these pop up in Apple Podcasts. So just something to think about. So that's our Google form. So it was done. I checked it off and it was done. It was completed. Now the social post, I knew that I wanted to post on Instagram and on my Facebook page. So what I did is I did like a brain dump of like, what are some of the things that I could post about while the giveaway is happening? So we had prizes, rules, countdowns. And so what I did is I went in and just said, okay, what are some of the things that I can do to talk about the prizes? I can announce what they are. I could do the rules, like here's how you can enter to win. And I actually have these linked in the PDF guide. So make sure you go grab the review debrief because I link to all the social posts that we did. So if you need some ideas or inspiration, and then the countdowns. So I did a lot of IG stories that were like, hey, by the way, you have this much time until we announce the grand prize winner on Friday, because we had awesome prizes throughout the week, but Friday we had one grand prize winner and that person got all of the prizes and also some cool podcast equipment. So this is how we planned out our social post, and we have the dates here. Whenever we were in the middle of it, I had all the dates listed out of when they were due, but at the end of the day, they were due by April 30th, which was the last day of the contest or the giveaway. I've been trying not to say contest because there was no competition. It was just a giveaway. We were just giving away prizes. Okay, so we did the social post, the daily emails. Oh, see, this is what I love about Asana. Did y'all see that? Y'all see that unicorn fly across the screen? That's fantastic. So the daily emails, I knew how powerful email marketing was, and I wanted to send an email every single day. I actually started on the Sunday before, and then I sent out emails Monday through Friday because email marketing is powerful, y'all. But I will tell you, and I absolutely go through this in the PDF guide, I had a little blurb at the top that let people know, hey, if you don't want these emails anymore, click this button and you'll be opted out. That's a video for another day of showing you how to do that in ConvertKit, but I highly recommend you give your people an out, right? Because I knew there would be a lot of people on my list that are like, Crystal, I don't care about your giveaway. I love you, but I don't care about your giveaway. So can you just go back to talking about your podcasting stuff? Thank you very much. I get it. I understand it. So what I did, I listed out all the days that I knew I needed to write emails. So here's pre-giveaway, day 1, day 2, all the days. And then I wrote my emails in each of these tasks. Oh my gosh, this made my life so much easier. Having all of these written out probably about a week and a half before the giveaway started. And then I just uploaded these into ConvertKit and scheduled them for the day that they were going to happen. You can see all of these emails. They're linked in the PDF guide. Yes, they are. So you have a template. Okay, if you want to do a giveaway, go grab. I don't care. Go take it. You're not stealing anything from me. Go get the PDF guide. Look at this swipe file and see, is this how you would want to, write out your emails? I don't know. You may think it's a terrible idea, but at least it's some inspiration. I talk about, well, what is it? Here's how you enter. Here's when it's happening. Here's why we're doing the giveaway. What are the prizes? I go into all of it here, but right here at the top is really what I want to point out. I tell the person we're in the middle of a giveaway with lots of fun prizes, and we'll be sending emails daily to announce winners and new prizes. But if you don't want those emails, no worries. Just click here and you'll receive our regular Friday email. This was at the top of every single email because I wanted to make sure that no one got annoyed. I don't want to annoy my email subscribers. I want them to know, hey, just click here. Just click here and you're good. It's all good. I know you don't want to unsubscribe. I don't want to bug you. So just click this. So I highly recommend doing something like that. So if you want to go read the rest of the emails, I recommend go getting the PDF guide that we talked about. It's going to be linked in the video description, and you can go check out the rest of our emails. I also talk about the prizes, the deadlines, the podcast episode we created, and this is actually the last piece of content for this entire project is creating this YouTube video, which is a recap of everything that we've done. So make sure that you go get the review debrief. You can go to crystalproffitt.com/review debrief, but I'm actually going to show you what it is, what it looks like. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So ready to run a giveaway? Everything you need to run your own podcast review giveaway, you put in your name and your email, and you will be sent an email that tells you how to grab it. You click on a link and it's there, but I'm going to do you one better and I'm going to walk you through it real fast. So let me make this full screen. Here we go. Okay, so this is what it is. It's just a PDF guide. I believe it's 9 pages. And I introduced myself a little bit. If we haven't met, this is a great way for you to learn a little bit more about me. But I talk about the highlights, what I learned, some of my biggest takeaways. I talked about the pros and the cons, and some of these things we talked about in the podcast episodes. So go and make sure and listen to those. We talked about how to choose winners, what the results were, prizes, podcast episodes, and then more templates and resources that are at the very back. And this is where I link to all of the emails that we have. These are actually the ConvertKit emails. So I'm going to show you in 1 second, but if you click on one of these, it will take you to the actual email. It's not just like a Google Doc. So I'm going to show you, you're going to have your mind blown. Okay. You ready? Because I didn't know that you could do this. I didn't know that you could do this. So I was really excited because you can see, look, you can see my GIFs. You can see everything extra that I added. This is the actual email, like what you just saw in the Asana version. Here's the actual email. It's right there for you to go and check out. So that's pretty cool, right? So go look at all the emails that we did. And then these are the social posts that we did, as well as a link to the IG stories that we did. I have a Canva link here. So you can click on that and go see the IG stories that we did. But y'all, go grab this PDF review debrief. Oh my gosh, like it is so powerful. And I wish I would have had something like this whenever I did my very first giveaway, which is basically this time. I did one whenever I first started a binge-worthy podcast, but not to this level of really planning it out step by step. And I hope that you find this really helpful. But make sure you put any questions or comments down below, and I will be happy to answer any of your podcast review giveaway questions. Well, that's all I have for you for today's video. I hope that you are inspired to run your own podcast review giveaway. This is a fantastic thing to do as soon as you're launching a podcast, but it's also something that you can do to celebrate a milestone number. You're coming up to your 50th episode, your 100th episode, you're coming up on your first year, your second year, whatever it is. I think that you don't have to have a reason to run a giveaway if you want to do it to give back to your community in a really fun way and just create some buzz around your podcast. So don't forget, go check out the podcast episodes and definitely grab the podcast review giveaway debrief. You're going to find so much valuable information in this PDF guide. And if I do say so myself, it's pretty amazing. So go grab that. But that's all I have for you. So make sure you hit that thumbs up if you found today's video helpful. Subscribe below if you have not already. And make sure you check out some of our awesome videos right here, all about podcasting and running your online business. And as always, remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.